Hello everyone, in this video, our group, which contains Mary Andani, Randa, Charlie, and Rian Hidayat, will explain to you guys about sequence and series of arithmetics. The use in real life of economics and businesses is, the first one is to use in real life, and they help us to predict, evaluate, and monitor the outcome of the situation or event that helps us a lot in making decisions. And the second one is widely used by managers and businesses of executive to handle their complex business situation that like risk analysis, forecasting and data analysis, competitive analysis, and etc. And finally, it's to find solution to the particle problems.
Sequence is a list of numbers that's part by commas. The number where each number is the previous number plus a contact disconstants different between each. Pair of subtype number in our sequence is called the common difference. Set this element is following a pattern. Order of element is important.
Okay, I will explain about the formula of the sequence and series in arithmetic. First one, the series or sequence. The formula of the sequence in arithmetic is UN dengan A plus open bracket n 1 close bracket times B. The explanation of the formula symbol is UN symbol is term of the n. L symbol is for the many term. A symbol is for the first term. B symbol is for the common difference. I will take the example. For the first example of sequence in arithmetic, the sets of number is negative 7, negative 3, 1, 5, and so on. It is shown blank on the last line. We call it infinite sequence because there is any specific number that stop the set of numbers. The question is determine the second term using the formula. Example, dari baris negatif 7, negatif 3, 1, dan 5. Untuk mencari A atau first term, yaitu dari baris pertama itu adalah negatif 7. Terus beda, untuk mencari beda atau B itu yaitu ditambah 4, jadi dia adalah positif 4. Terus untuk mencari UN itu adalah dengan atau U7, yaitu deret pertama ditambah dalam kurung 7 kurang 1 kurung 4. Hasilnya kita turunkan negatif 7 sama dengan 24. Hasil dari U7 itu adalah 17.
Example 21, 14, 7, 0, 14. Jadi dikurang 7. Yang diketahui A sama dengan 21, B sama dengan minus 7, yang dicari 25. Rumusnya UN A ditambah buka kurung N kurang 1 dikali B. Jadi 25 sama dengan 21 ditambah 5 kurang 1 dikali minus 7. 21 ditambah minus 28 sama dengan 25 nya 7. Contoh ketiga, minus 9, 0, 9, 18. Jadi ditambah 9. Diketahuinya A sama dengan minus 9, B sama dengan 9. Yang dicari N juga. UN sama dengan A ditambah N minus 1 dikali B. U26 sama dengan minus 9 ditambah 26 dikurang 1 dikali 9 sama dengan minus 9 ditambah 225. U26 sama dengan 216. Series is a sum of all the term is a sequence. The arithmetic sequence is how we find out a specific term by adding the same thing each time to get the next term. So arithmetic series is how we find the sum of term by adding. Order of the element isn't so important.
Next, I will explain the formula of series, or we call it as Berat in Indonesia. Series formula is Sn parallel 1 by 1 n parallel A plus U parallel, or Sn sama dengan 1 by 2 n buka kurung 2A sama dengan n tutup kurung n dikurang 1 tutup kurung B tutup kurung. S symbol is the number of the terms first. A symbol is the first term. B symbol is difference. U symbol is terms 2n. N symbol is many terms.
And next we're going to the example. For the example, we're just going to use the same example instead. And the question is, determine the total of first 30 terms. There's -7 plus -3 plus 1 plus 5 and plus to be continued. And how to solve this is we need to use Sn equals 1 by 2n. Inside a bracket there's 2a plus, inside a bracket another bracket there's n minus 1 and b, and then close the brackets. So the Sn is 30 because the question is determine first 30 terms total. So S30 equals 1 by 2 times 3q inside a bracket 2 times -7 plus 28 times 4. And it leads us to 15 inside a bracket. There's -14 plus 116 equals to 15 times 102, and that equals S30 equals 1530. For the second example of this series in arithmetics, the sets of number field is -21 plus 14 plus 7 plus 0 plus blanks until plus -14. We need to determine those totals from 6th term above. If we found the first and last term, we can immediately find the total using this simpler way. So first, the U1 is 21st and U7 is -14. S7 equals 21 plus -14 times 6 divided by 2, and that equals 7 times 6 divided by 2, and that leads us to S7 equals 21. For the last example in series arithmetics, the question is the sets of number field -9 plus 0 plus 9 plus 18 plus to be continued. The question is determine the total of first 360 terms. Now to answer this, we need to determine the total of first 360 terms. So how we do this is we write as 360 because the 360 is the n equals 1 by 7 times 360, and in the bracket we add 2 times -9 plus, inside the bracket there's 360 minus 1, and then there's we close the bracket, and then there's 9 and close all the brackets. That leads us to 180 and 180, and there's inside a bracket -18 plus 3231. Close the brackets, and then it leads us only to 180 times 3213, and S360 is 578,340. And next, the exercise. First question is to determine the 15th terms and the 47th term from sets of number 8, 10, 12, 14, and to be continued. So how we do this is we need to find the A, or the first term is 8. So A equals 8, and B is the difference, equals 2, because 8 to 10 there's 2 difference. And how we do this is UN equals A plus, inside the brackets, N minus 1, close the brackets, and then B. So U15, because the question asks the 15th term, so U15 equals 8 plus, inside the bracket, and there's 14 times 2, and that leads us to U15 equals 36. And for the 47 terms, it's also the same. U47 equals 8 plus, inside the brackets, 46 times 2, and that leads us to U47 equals 100. The second exercise question is to determine the 10 terms and the 37 terms from sets of numbers 20, 12, 4, and to be continued. So as we can see here, 20 to 12 is minus, so the difference is minus 8, and the first terms is 20, so A equals 20, B equals minus 8. And to find the U10 is U10 equals 20 plus, inside the bracket, 9 times minus 8, and close the bracket. So that leads us to U10 equals 52. As you can see here, the formula is just the same, but the question is different, but we use the same formula. And for the U37 is U37 equals 20 plus, inside the bracket, 36 times minus 8, and that leads us to U37 equals 168.
For the next exercise, it's showing the set of numbers which is minus 10, 5, 20, and etc. And it continues to 80. So the question is, determine the blank term to complete that set of numbers. So the way to solve it is, we know that the A, or the first term, is minus 10, and then the B is 15. Why? Because the differences between the first term and the second term is 15. So after 20, we can count it adding 15, which is 35, and then 35 adding 15 again, which is 50, and adding 15 again, it's 65, and then until 80.
Next, we will need to find the total of the first 400 term of sets of 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus 16 and plus to be continued. So the solving is, we found that the A1, which is the first term, is 4, and then the B, or the differences, or the common difference, is 4 too, because it's from 8 minus 4 equals 4, and then 12 minus 8 equals 4. The differences is 4. So we need to use the formula, which is as n equals to half of n, and then times with 2a plus n minus 1 times b. So we need to insert what we know. The n is 400, so as 400 equals to half times 400, because it's n, and then times 2 times 4. It's from 8 equals to 4, and then plus n, it's 400 minus 1, and then times 4. So the half of 400 is 200, and then times 8 plus 1596. The total is 320,800. The next exercise, the count of the sum of all the natural number of 4 that are less than 52. So the way is, we will need to find on which term is 52 placed. It's 4 times 13, so the n is 13, and the number is 52. So the A that we found is 4, because we need to find from kelipatan 4, which is 4, 8,
12 and 16 and etc. We're gonna use the different formula, which is Sn equals to half of the n and then times a plus un. Un that we use is 52 because the u of 13 is 52. So S13 equals to half of 13 and then times 4 plus 52. So 13 divided by 2 times 56. The 2 we are gonna divide it with 56 and it makes 28. So the S13 is 364. For the exercise application, there's two cases. The first case is an employee of a company is paid 4.5 million rupiah for each month. The following year, his monthly salary will increase to 135,000 rupiah, and so on. The question is, how much is the employee's salary for each month for his tenure or masa tua up to 7th year? So the solving is, we know that the first week's salary that he or she had is 4.5 million rupiah. Yeah. And then it's A. And the B is 225,000 rupiah because it's increasing in each year. So for the N, we're gonna use 7 because it's asking for the 7th year. So we are gonna use the formula of UN equals to A open N minus 1 times B. So we're gonna insert the knowing, which is U7 equals to 4.5 million plus 6. It's because n minus 1, the n is 7, so 7 minus 1 equals to 6. 6 times 225,000, and then it equals to total 5,850,000 rupiah. So that is the salary that he got for the 7th year. The next question of success application. A snack box entrepreneur called Snacket earns 6 million rupiah per month. The following year, his income increased 350,000 rupiah, and so on for the next following years. We have to estimate or memperkirakan the income of the entrepreneur for the 5th year. So the solving is first term, which is 6 million, and then the B is 350,000 because it's increasing in each year. So we're gonna use the same formula as I said before, which is UN equals A plus n minus 1 times B. So we're gonna insert it. U5. Why are we using the 5? Because it's asking the 5th year. So we're gonna use 5 equals to 6 million plus 4 times 350,000, which is it costs 7.4 million on the 5th year. So that's all for the sequence and series of arithmetic. Thank you and goodbye.